Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Mabel. So starting with, I'm going to use my organic water to clean her face like so. I did her carving off camera, guys. Right now I'm taking my Vaseline lip balm to moisturize her lips. So we are starting with the brows. I'm going to use the Pond's primer to mattify her brows like so. Next up, I'm taking this Beauty by AD setting powder and I'm going to use this to apply on her brows. So to draw her brows, I'm using the Hega and Esther brow pomade in the shade Ebony. I'm going to use this to outline the brows. Now I'm taking my hair wax and I'm going to use that to put the hairs in place. Now I'm filling it in, still using that Hega and Esther brow gel. To conceal, I'm using the Elegant concealers in the shade Fawn and Toffee. I'm going to mix a little bit of Toffee with the Fawn and I'm using that to conceal her brows. Now I'm concealing the top part of her brows. I think this time around I used the Elegant concealer in the shade Toast. Now I'm going to take my time to blend all that concealer into her skin like so. So to set the concealers in place, I'm using my VBT powder palette and I'm going to take the shade Bianca. I'm going to use this. Okay, I mixed two shades and I'm going to use that to set the concealer in place. So moving on to the eyes, I'm going to take this tape. I'm going to cut a little from it. I'm going to use this to map out the eyes. So to start with, I'm going to use my Karai gel liner. I'm going to draw a wing with it first of all. I really enjoy working on hooded eyes because I love to play around with their eye shapes. So now I'm going to take a small brush and I'm going to blend out that gel liner we used. I'm going to blend it facing upwards like so. Next up, I'm going to take the Blossom eyeshadow palette and I'm going to take this brown from it. I'm going to use this to blend in the black, just to transition the black. Guys, I'm so sorry if you're hearing echoes. Of all time, it's raining now, like, oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I shall have to do this voiceover. So after blending that in, the next step, I'm going to take my powder and make sure that I blend everything together to make sure that there are no harsh lines. So next up, I'm taking the NYX glitter primer and I'm going to apply a little on her eyelid like so. So next up, I'm going to take this pigments from Luster Cosmetics and Candy Beauty line. The shades will be in my description box below. These eyes are pretty simple to recreate, guys. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and apply mascara. So for that, I'm using the Colossal mascara. So next up, I'm going to use this pair of lashes. You saw what I did. You want to make sure you twist the both ends so as to ease your application, okay? So next up, I'm cleaning her face with wipes and micellar water once more. Now I'm going over it with the Cetaphil moisturizer. Guys, please, now is the best time to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Turn on your notification bell beside it so you don't miss any of my uploads. Please, guys, help your girl by subscribing. Thank you and God bless. So moving on to primer, I'm using the Rimmel Stay Matte primer. And I'm going to apply this primer all over her face except her under eyes. For foundation, I'm using the L'Oreal foundation and Fit Me foundation from Micolor Cosmetics. And I'm going to use my Kiss Beauty setting spray to make sure I hydrate the foundation before I start blending. You can see how easy that made the blending for me. After blending, I'm going to go over it again. So now I'm using my beauty sponge to make sure that I damp everything into her skin like so. To contour, I'm using the Black Opal Stick foundation in the shade Ebony Brown, and I'm going to use this to contour her face. So for blush, I'm using my V Beauty lipstick palette and I'm going to take that red shade there and use that as my blush. I'm going to take my time to make sure I blend that blush. For highlighting, I'm using the Elegant concealer in the shade Fawn and Toast. I'm going to mix just a little bit of Toast to the Fawn, and that's what I'm going to be using for her highlight. Okay, now I'm going over it with the Toast only at the bottom to ease the blending. But before I went ahead to blend, I blend the edges first. Now I'm going ahead to contour her nose and I'm using that Black Opal Stick foundation. So now I'm going to go ahead and blend the remaining concealer underneath her eyes. Take your time to blend, guys. Blending is key. I'm going to set the face before I go ahead to apply the setting powder. So the setting powder I'm using is from Beauty by AD in the shade Tawny. Sorry guys, I didn't show you that. So next up, I'm taking my Milani powder to make sure I set that setting powder in place before I go ahead to set all over her face. I basically use that powder to set all the highlighted areas actually. So now over to her face powder. I'm using the V Beauty powder palette, one of the best powders out there, and I'm going to use those two shades there, and I'm going to use that to set all over her face, all those areas we didn't apply the setting powder. I'm going to use this finishing powder to set those areas in place. Next up, to contour, I'm taking that darkest shade there in the palette. I'm going to use that to do her contour. Notice how I'm applying the contour. I'm applying it facing upwards. I'm still taking that powder to contour her nose, to set her nose contour. Remember we did liquid cream contour rather. So this powder is going to set that cream contour in place. So next up, I'm going to take the setting powder and I'm going to use that to snatch her nose like so. And I'm also going to use the setting powder to bake. Now I'm going to use the leftover to do her reverse contour like so. So now I'm pressing in the setting powder. Now it's setting spray time, guys. I'm going to use this green tea setting spray. This is like my fave, guys. Like, now I'm going to soak that face in setting spray so as to break down all those powders. Okay, make sure you're generous with your setting spray. So while the face is still wet, I'm going to use my beauty sponge to make sure I dam that setting spray into her skin. So next up, I'm taking the Benign eyeshadow base, the Benign Clown White, and I'm going to use that to apply on her waterline. And I'm going to take this black shade from my Blossom eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to use that to smoke out underneath her eyes like so. Next up, I'm going to take my cheek glids and I'm going to use this to enhance her contour. Next up, I'm going to take this blush from my what's it called, Tehila blush and highlight palette. So to set the blush in place, I'm going to take my classic blush palette and I'm going to take those 2 shades. For highlighter, I'm going to use the highlighter from my what's it called, Tehila palette, because I wasn't going too serious on the highlights. Yeah, now I'm taking my Hega and Esther highlighter and I'm going to use this to apply on our tear dots like so. For lipstick, I'm going to start with this pink shade from my Blossom African Cheek palette. This is their lipstick palette from Blossom. I'm going to take that light pink and that's what I'm going to start blending her lips with. So to line her lips, I took the brown shade from the palette and I added it with a little bit of black, still from that palette, and I'm going to take my time to blend this out. Guys, what do you think about these lips? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. The lips look so beautiful. I love the way these lips came out. So now I'm going to take that white shade from my iMagic lipstick palette and I'm going to apply this just at the center of the lips. Now I'm going over it with gloss. And guys, this is the finished look. I had to style her hair for her. This is the look all done. She looks so pretty. Guys, look at that skin work. Like, oh my goodness, she looks so good. Look at the eyes, everything is popping. Please like, comment, subscribe. I love you guys and I will see you in my next one. Bye my loves.